I don't think so. No.
Yeah. So, and then, and so how much does missing that much practice matter?
It equals 15 minutes of practice that I didn't get. 15 minutes of making changes or trying different lines. You kind of run through a basic program there as far as, figure out what your car is doing, get in traffic, see what your car does there, hot pit road, and that's about all we had time for. So, on the flip side of that, that little track time and go hold up wide open to 1 and 2, I felt good about that. And so good that I tried to go wide open to 3 and 4, and I don't feel very good about that decision. So, but past that, some good notes for tomorrow.
Did they completely identify what it was, though? I'm sorry, I missed the first part of that.
I'll be honest, I have no idea if we've completely identified, not identified. Once I got the car fired up, it was kind of go. not really concerned myself with that. So wait till it shuts off the next time and then be concerned about it. But I haven't really regrouped with the team on kind of where they're at with all that. But definitely not ideal.
Do you think the Fords have picked up coming into this race at all? I mean, you feel like you have the speed or the downforce to compete with the Toyotas and the Chevys?
I'll be honest, I can't say I've really done much analyzing, on that front. I think the race will be a good gauge on whether if that's the case or not. But I would say just based off of previous events, you look at Atlanta, track where speed and handling both matter. You'd look to think this event could have some potential for us, but past that, can't say that I really have many thoughts.
You've had success at Watkins Glen. How important is it to get a good launch through turn 1?
A good launch through turn 1 at Watkins Glen?
Or have a successful turn 1 at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, Watkins is an interesting place to restart because there's so many options. I mean, you looked at how the race finished last year, guys shoving each other wide, and, is there speed on the other side of the curb? Can you upset the car? It's a really easy place to lock rears. Going down the hill, really easy place to lock your right front going, to the apex. So pretty challenging corner and unique to kind of the rest of the corners on the racetrack. So makes it perfect to be the first corner after a restart.
Following up on road courses, what are your thoughts about Indy?
Excited for Indy. I think we certainly have some work to do kind of on our road course package to be able to get us in good enough form to be able to win races, and I think we've got some good ideas coming into next week, and obviously a really important stretch for me to try and win to get ourselves in the playoffs. So winning at Indy would be a double whammy.
How has not having the stage breaks at road courses made an impact or not made an impact? I'll throw out Chicago because that was so different, but from my point, I don't think it's changed a whole lot. And I know, like at Sonoma, you had that quirky caution in the middle of the cycle. It kind of messed things up. So
yeah, well, I think no stage cautions at road courses has helped provide stage points for the reason why we have stage points in the first place, which is to reward cars running well throughout the entire race. But it also gives natural strategy throughout the course of the race. Have we had enough road courses? Can we say, oh, that was a home run, or man, we should never do this again? I'm definitely in the bucket of I think it's the right idea. I think our fans can identify with it. Even fans outside of just NASCAR lovers, can identify and make more sense out of it. Kind of the traditionalist viewpoint of why that strategy is important to enjoying the race.
You've done a lot of different types of racing. So next week, there will be Kobayashi. You've got SVG back in, Brody Kostecki, Jensen Button. I know you, as a competitor, you want to beat them all, but just to have the opportunity to be on the same track with some of these guys and to see what they do from a competitor's point of view, what do you think about that?
I feel like it's kind of what makes the Rolex 24 fun for me, is that you walk into the driver's meeting and there's everybody who's anybody in motorsports, and I wouldn't say we're necessarily quite on the same scale as that, but from a NASCAR standpoint, it's like over the moon of the international scope and probably the international eyes that'll be on the sport, especially at a place like Indy. I think that's really cool that it's kind of all coming together there, and shows you what Indy means. Being able to, I'm sure that's an attraction point to a guy like Kobayashi or even Brody, who I'm sure wants to one up SVG. So it's cool, but to your point, I'm out there to try and beat them all.
What kind of an awakening are those guys in for? I mean, obviously, the Chicago Street Course was a different type of race. This has got that turn one, even with the change to the restart zone. It seems like it's going to be more of a, could be potentially like a Coda where it's more impact than what you saw at Chicago.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to have a cut and paste to Jensen's comments from Coda. Just the racing is so different, and the fact that, most motorsports series in the world have driver standards penalties, and our driver standards penalties are whatever we do to each other over the course of 38 weeks, in part from, whatever extreme measures some guys take, and obviously NASCAR takes action. But past that, yeah, the raw Wild West approach is definitely not normal for anything outside of our garage.
And then I think they mentioned that you were running more of like Logano setups going forward, at least for these next 3 weeks. Can you talk about that and just the feel of the car, how that's been different, and if it's benefited you?
Yeah, well, I think it's you're maximizing your ability to have teammates, and we obviously haven't run as well as we've wanted to at a lot of different events so far this year, and it's kind of a good option for us to re-baseline kind of where we're at, whether if it's right or wrong. And over the last I would say 2 weeks, certainly learned plenty. I look at Richmond as a great example. We all kind of started at the back, and that's a track where Joey's really strong and able to come up with some creative ways to solve problems. And if I would have had a chance to get out of the car for 10 minutes and kind of understand it all, I think we would have been that much better. But it's some days it helps you recognize the lack of experience, but I feel like it's also brought me and Joey closer, just being able to work together and kind of solve similar issues. So